Alright, so we are back here for match 4. We won the roll. This hand's fine. Hopefully Harness Lightning's good against the deck, but whatever. I'm never mulliganing this. I mean, not in game 1. I'm never mulliganing this. Like, if he's a Copter deck, this hand's great. Yeah, this hand's awesome against Plains. Probably just play an island now. There's a chance that I do want to Harness Lightning something. Like if he just goes like Inspiring Vantage into Veteran Modist or whatever. Or even if he just plays Selfless Spirit. Just Crash Flu. Totally fine with that too. Play Island again. No reason not to. My land's all coming to play on tap now. Just have actual duels here. And it looks like he's blue-white flash. Which we played against earlier. Hopefully we... Whoa. Oh, okay. So he's Panharmonicon. Alright. I haven't really played against this deck much. My guess is that I need to counter Panharmonicon, though. So, I'm going to hold up Summary Dismissal on my next turn. Also, Rebuff, I think, is actually pretty good in this matchup. Whoa, he's got Swamps? Is that what he got? Why would you have Swamps? Alright. Maybe I just don't know what's going on here. I've never seen a Swamp with these colors of mana before. Dismissal of this. Pretty easy dismissal there. Just generate a ton of value off of that. Negate's a good draw in case he does have just another Panharmonicon. Like all of these, like whatever, like 4 mana artifact decks, like Panharmonicon and Marvel and Reservoir. Those are all just great matchups. The only way that you lose is when this exact situation happens and I don't have another negate. Is when they just have runner, their key card, and you only have one counter spell. That's pretty much the only way to possibly lose a matchup like this. And I think we're pretty much at the point where we're almost certainly going to win this game. We just have them out-resourced by a ton. And our hand is all gas. At some point I may have to start firing off actual spells on these things if I don't find a Radiant Flame someday. But I will be taking at least a full another hit before anything like that happens. He's got Gonti in his deck. Alright, this guy is going deep, and I respect that. I respect the depth that's going on here. Land's a good draw there. I will go down to 3 against this deck and not even blink before I start firing off removal on these terrible creatures. Clearly what I really want to do is find Radiant Flames. Filigree Familiar, not a big deal. You can have a Filigree Familiar. We should be able to hopefully either chain card draw or find a Radiant Flames or a Gear Hulk. I'm going to take Glimmer so as to chain card draw. And then basically here I'm gonna bottom anything that's not a card draw spell or Radiant Flames. Or Gear Hulk is effectively a card draw spell. Lands to the bottom this is basically just drawing 4 cards here. And we did find Radiant Flames, so we get to untap, draw, play our lands, play Radiant Flames, and I can cast it for just 2. And that's going to be close to game. I mean, I do have only removal and 1 counter spell now, so it is possible that he could string together a series of plays that works through this hand. Fine with a Prophetic Prism. Yeah, this guy's going pretty deep here, which is, I mean, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, don't care about that at all. Just gives me a good actual something worth killing with a removal spell. Now I'm just looking for card draw and Gear Hulks, which I'm going to use to draw cards. Hopefully he just like activates the Shambling Vent and then uses it to crew the Copter. Totally fine with this. And he is actually doing that whole series of plays, which is pretty nice for us. I'll be killing that. And I'm going to go 1-1 on my removal. Ooh, he has Spell Queller. So now I get to kill all 3 of his things. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. Because now he's tapped out. So he Quellers this. And then I'm just going to wait for the crew to resolve. And then now I'm just going to kill his whole board. So go black, red, 1. And I'm going to kill that. 3 damage is the amount that I would like to do. I'm not sure if it's really worth killing the Shambling Vent at this point. I think I'm just going to leave it up. And I'll just kill it if he activates it again. It's good to know he has Spell Queller. Most of the time these decks don't play Spell Queller. Cloud Blazer. I'm going to shatter that. Like, clearly this could go poorly for me, but I think it just always goes poorly for me if I don't shatter it. I just need to draw some action here. Fire Bluff Canal is not action. His hand, his hand is probably better than ours now. We've drawn lands for the last 4 or 5 turns in a row now, and that's how you lose at Magic. Still, if we just draw a Glimmer at any point in time, we're just gonna instantly win. Or a Gear Hulk, or yeah, Painful Truth is still plenty good. I don't see any reason to take 2 damage here. I'm gonna Harness Lightning this. It's another Gonti. Noxious Gear Hulk. I'm totally fine with that, my friend. And I'm just gonna fire this off. Still gonna need to draw some action at some point in this game. Evolving Wild's also not action. Yeah, I need to draw spells, and I need to draw card drawing spells in particular. Let's see. So I have 2 Painful Truths, 3 Glimmers is 5, 3 Gear Hulks is 8. So I have 8 spells that are probably just gonna win the game. But if I miss on them, I'm gonna lose. I'm trying to remember if I bottomed anything that was good. And Painful Truths is running out of time too. I mean, if I draw Painful Truths here, I'm 100% firing it off. Yeah, so I really need to draw one of these cards. Confirm Suspicions would have been good. At this point, it might be too late. Anticipate's excellent. Anticipate gives us 3 more shots to hit one of the aforementioned spells. This is tough. If he casts a spell, I definitely want Confirm, but if he doesn't cast a spell, this is just going to rot in my hand and I'm going to die to the stupid Shambling Vent. I'm going to take Confirm. This could be just a bad play, but I think this is right. it does leave me dead to like him just activating for the next 2 turns. But this is also like a way that I actually win the game. If I get to cast this, I'm gonna win. And it does look like he's casting something. I don't care what it is. If this was a freaking Cogworkers Puzzle Knot or something, I'd be countering it. As you saw in our previous matchup when I was not willing to do so. Yeah, confirm is excellent here. Gonna be going down to 2, but I'm gonna see 4 cards to find an answer to this thing, and I think I'm pretty likely to find one in the next 4 cards. Painful Truths is obviously like lost its value for the most part, but and I'm not worried about holding up a counterspell. Ugh, land is bad. Land is very bad. Disintegration is fine. That actually gets us there. Still, I mean, drawing 3 cards and them all being lands is, still not good enough. Cloud Blazer, gonna have to Void Shatter that. He's activating Shambling Vent. Maybe he's activating Shambling Vent. Yep, there you go. I'm gonna wait for him to attack. This in case he does have like a negate or whatever. Kill that. And now we're back in the same situation where we were. Unfortunately, drawing all those lands there means that even after having drawn a card draw spell, all we need to do is draw a card draw spell. Glimmer is getting main phased for sure. I have a million lands, so. And yeah, bottoming these 2 lands, this Glimmer is just drawing 4 cards. Because those lands are total blanks. Those lands do actually nothing at all. Well, I never thought it would come to this, but I'm Void Shattering this Raven Inspector. This is actually just a 2-for-1 here, so I do have to counter it. Because the body is relevant while I'm at 2 life. Whatever this is also... Ooh, Sky Sovereign, though. Actually, that I'm just going to let happen. Because I have to keep anything that has 3 power off of the table regardless. So... This is just doing actually just nothing. Wandering Fumarole, not good. Any land. I mean, Wandering Fumarole is the best land I could draw, but it's still a land, and lands are not doing anything for me here. Gonna have to counter this. Pretty unfortunate. There's a good chance that his last card is a land. Or like a rebuff. Something that's just not doing anything at this point. And just need to draw card draw spells. And did it again. Wandering Fumarole going to the bottom. Anticipate going to the top. Essence Extraction. Alright, now we're in business. Let's see. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I can cast... Yeah, I'm going to hit with the Fumarole. I think it's close whether or not hitting with the Fumarole makes sense. I mean, there's a decent chance that the card in his hand is Stasis Snare, too. Or just, like, whatever other kind of removal spell. Oh, wait, I clicked the wrong button. Alright, the 0. The ability to cause 0 mana. I haven't given him anything to remove yet, so... He drew land. Yeah, the fact that he didn't actually do anything once I activated the Fumarole makes me pretty sure that all he's gonna have is a blank. It could be a rebuff or a land but whatever it is, it's not doing anything. We're gonna activate Fumarole again. And it looks like we are, after we drew a couple card draw spells, we are getting back into this. I forgot to flip. That's alright, though. I mean, it's clearly a mistake that is potentially costly, but you got to move on from that kind of stuff. You can't just dwell on the fact that you punted. People punt. It happens. Just try and make sure you don't do it next time. If he cast something, I would have got confirm, but because with this much mana, confirm a clue is as good as draw a card. Oh, maybe I guess he does have a removal spell. He just didn't want to use it on the funeral. I'm fine with that. So take a bunch of damage in order to be able to snare this thing instead. Totally fine with me. Yep. And cast Glimmer. Just looking for Gear Hulks now. Painful Truths is going to go to the bottom. Evolving Wall is also going to go to the bottom. And I'm going to cast Anticipate. This rebuff's just Cold Dead. 2 Gear Hulks. Alright, so I pretty much want to shuffle. If I find an Evolving Wild, I'm going to crack it before I do anything. But we're pretty much just mopping up at this point. I'm going to flip this right now so I don't forget again. And we're going to hit him with the Fumarole. This deck is not that different from a deck that actually is like, I mean, it top baited a GP, just the blue white version. This Gonti is, it might be a bit too deep. We may have gone a bit too deep when we're putting Gonti into our deck, but other than that, like, all of this seems fine. I don't love like this double splash that he's got going on here for Gonti and Noxious Gear Hulk. I'm not too worried about decking also, which I guess is something that could potentially come up, but I'm not too worried about that. I have another Gear Hulk. Bottom of my deck, I'm going to draw a Wandering Fumarole before I draw that Gear Hulk, and, you know, this is a 2-turn clock as it sits, so I don't have any counter spells, but I do have removal, and I have this Extraction, which is get me out of a lot of jams. And Panharmonicon is just not doing anything, so... And we're going to untap, draw, play land, and activate our Fumarole. And flip it. And hit for lethal. And he did draw... He's got a Spell Queller, that's fine. I'm just going to kill this then. No reason to beat around the bush here. And F6 to save time. Alright. Alright, so against the Panharmonicon deck. Well, there's definitely enough targets for me to want rejection. Transgress does seem good. Negate, he's probably going to have counter spells, so I kind of do like Negate. Disintegration can probably go. I do definitely like all the Radiant Flames. I definitely like the Essence Extraction. The more expensive counter spells, I'm not really sure about. Rebuff, I think I don't like really at all. I'm not sure about the... I think the Dismissal I do want to cut. I'm not sure about the Confirm. So we need 3 slots still. Probably shaving in a gate. Harness Lightning kills Copter. This deck is definitely not as all in on Copter as some of the other ones are. Because he's also got like 6 drops and stuff. So basically the last 2 cuts are going to come down to, it's going to be Void Shatter, Confirm, Negate, Painful Truths. Painful Truths is not even an option when we're on the play, but on the draw we can't really cast this on turn 3 because he just has a Haymaker on 4. So going down to 2 is like a little more reasonable. So I think I'm going to do that as one of them. And then the choice between Negate and Void Shatter pretty much comes down to how many counter spells I think he's going to have in his deck. And yeah, if he's got like 2, I'd rather have the Void Shatter, but if he's got like 4, I'd rather have the Negate. I'm gonna go with the Void Shatter. So we'll see. I mean, the Painful Truths is definitely coming back in if we lose this game when we're on the play, and it is pretty clear mulligan. I'm not gonna match up like this. I don't think it's worth trying to get lucky and draw a couple lands in a row. Ugh. It's a spell, but it's like the worst spell I've ever seen. So I'm going to bottom it and hope that there's a better spell on top. Sometimes just a spell is not good enough. You need like a spell that actually does something. And even if I knew that Island was the next card down, I'd still bottom the Radiant Flames. I mean, I'd be unhappy that that was like my options or whatever, but drawing Glimmer is pretty good there. And I'm going to cast Anticipate, and if he Quellers it, I'm just going to Radiant Flames. Going to take Rejection here. Just because I don't need a land or another Radiant Flames. So now the bottom of our deck contains both of our remaining Radiant Flames. But I don't think this is the kind of matchup where we need a Radiant Flames like a bunch of times. We just need one that kills like 6 things. Because he has so many things that just don't do anything. Yeah, I don't care about the Spell Queller. The thing about like these 2 power guys is you can just get hit by these like a lot of times. You get hit by this 9 times, you know. As was evidenced by the last game that we won it 2 life. It's just not like, it's just not that big of a deal to get attacked for 2. You know, like in some matchups where you can't get hit by Avacyn. If you get hit by Avacyn a couple of times, like you're already in bad shape, but the Spell Queller can sit here and peck away at my life total all it wants to. I don't really care. I am just gonna go for Glimmer. Well, I guess if he has like a Spell Shrivel exactly, I'd rather not. But if he has just Queller here, this ends up awesome for me. So I'm gonna do this and really genuinely hope that he casts Spell Queller. Negate. Alright. Well, I wasn't getting around Negate in any way. So it looks like he is really into counter spells. Like I said before, I generally think that that's a pretty bad idea. You're just not going to ever out-control a deck like this, or even like the Jeskai deck, which is slightly less controlling than this. You're just not going to out-control those decks. You're just worse at, you're trying to do the same thing as they're doing, but you're like a lot worse at it. So Spell Queller is not a great control card. It's a good tempo card, but it's not a great control card. Anticipate here, hope to find card draw spells. Well, If it's not going to be a card draw spell, Transgress the Mind's pretty nice here. Gives a good idea of what he's doing, and if he has Spell Queller, we get to kind of blow him out with the Radiant Flames. So we're going to go for Transgress. Take a peek at his hand. Well, his hand just basically does nothing. I don't even know what this card does. Is this the one that, like, blinks a bunch of guys? Blinks any number of guys? Okay. So this hand is actually, like, pretty decent against what we've got here. I think I'm going to take the Eerie Interlude, because this is just counterspell with Spell Queller, right? Oh, it's at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, okay, then I don't care about that at all. I'm going to take Gonti then, because this is actually a card advantage engine. And then I'm going to pass the turn. Yeah, if that's not a counterspell, I don't care about any of this. He's got Westvale Abbey going. Not too big of a deal. I got a Radiant Flames to clean them up, all of them at once, and he's gonna have to cast spells to win the game. Something I would have to really break off like insanely hard to lose to Westvale Abbey in this spot. I'm gonna pass the turn. I really don't want to anticipate into a land. I just need to draw. As you may have heard me say in many matchups, I just need to draw card draw spells, because that's basically how this deck wins. Just we start chaining card draw spells at some point and take over. So I'm hoping to anticipate into a card draw spell here. Gear Hulk's fine too, and we hit a Gear Hulk, so take Gear Hulk. I'm not going to Essence Extraction the Queller. I'm going to just play Radiant Flames. I guess we can leave up double black still, because we don't need to... Oh, yeah, we did. I punted that. Yep, that's a bad play. This one might actually cost us the game. Ooh, well, he's going to play as if we didn't make that punt, which is pretty great for us. I think I'm just going to extract this thing now. Yeah, that's a pretty lucky turn for us, is him missing that. Missing that we played it with two colors, because that was a big mistake. That's the kind of mistake that actually loses the game. So yeah, that was just an oversight by me, and not one that you really can afford to make. Hopefully he's just going to play the Noxious Gear Hulk. Now he does have the Gonti, so he's going to get one of our cards. Our cards are better than his cards here. Well, hopefully he missed. My guess is, like, we have a lot of really good draws, so now he has those good draws. Let's think. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna pass the turn. Yeah, Gonti is actually just like insane against this deck, because our deck is just so good. Like, we're at a point in time where, like, basically what our deck is about is that our deck's better than theirs is. All the cards that we're drawing are better than all the cards that they're drawing at this point in the game. But Oh, I'm gonna be casting Torrential Gear Hulk here. Not really even thinking about doing anything else. I'm just gonna Glimmer. I could Essence Extraction the Gonti, but this seems way better to me. Hopefully, didn't find a negate in our deck. That'd be pretty unfortunate. These are definitely both going to the bottom. Card draw. Nope, 2 more lands. So that's pretty unfortunate for us. And we're going to block the Shambling Vent. I guess you could have found Harness Lightning in our deck, which would kill our Gear Hulk here. I don't like, that's kind of whatever. Yep, let this happen. On his end step, I'm gonna... Oh, wait, what if he found Rebuff? Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna untap. That's a close call, but I don't want to get rebuffed. I'm gonna hit with Gear Hulk. Gotta start getting this game over with. I'm low on time. Been talking too much for the video. I'm gonna Harness Lightning the Gonti before any kind of damage. I don't want to take extra damage that I don't need to here. He could have found a Void Shatter from our deck too, in which case I'd reject it. I'm gonna just Void Shatter this for sure. Don't want him getting extra value. I wonder if he found Gear Hulk. Yeah, it looks like he found a Gear Hulk, which is just incredible for him. I mean, we have an answer to it, but that means that's a Gear Hulk that we don't get to draw this game. And I mean, we're gonna win this fight, which is good, but it's not good enough. Like we don't just win now. Yeah, land's bad. We get to hit with the Fumarole, and I will once again make sure to activate it. Don't want to forget about that again. I mean, obviously I don't want to forget about the first time either, but like, you're allowed to forget about it once, but you forget about it more than that, and then you really gotta look at what's going on. So then you're making like actual mistakes. This is a pretty ambitious attack with Thraben Inspector here. You have Noxious Gear Hulk. Oh, he still has Noxious Gear Hulk. Yeah, that's pretty great. I might be priced into trying to win this game. Let's see. So, yeah, I'm gonna kill this guy. I just don't think that I really realistically have enough time to win a third game. And I think his resources are pretty well depleted. So cracking this Evolving Wilds I think is actively bad for the quality of my draw steps, so I'm not going to do it. Hopefully there's a colorless spell. Oh, it's still in Vala. Yeah. Need a draw here. Sunken Hollow is not that draw. Alright. I guess we're going to have to try and win a game in 4 minutes. Our deck is really not set up to do. I made a couple of pretty bad plays there. Yeah, definitely had a better chance to win that than, well, than it came out as. Probably could have won that game if I just played better. So the negate is definitely good. He's got a million, like, just stupid trinkety things that negate hits pretty well. It looked like the way he boarded extraction is not doing too much. I actually didn't even see Copter. And this rejection basically just died in my hand, too. He might have just boarded out, like, the Panharmonicon and the Copter. I mean, he saw a ton of his deck that game, and I mean, I'm not willing to just like abandon Harness Lightning for sure, but like I don't want to cut this, but I'm gonna cut another rejection for the 4th Void Shatter, and yeah, we're just gonna have to try to get a Gear Hulk in a play quickly and protect it and beat him down. 4 minutes. This deck is not really built to win in those kinds of time frames, but we'll do what we can. Definitely keep. And we're just going to sack Evolving Wilds and hit F6 and move as quickly as we can through this game. I might not talk as much once my opponent chooses to act. Just because I really do need to play just blisteringly fast. I didn't really need to transgress him there. I'd rather transgress him this turn. Seems a lot better to me. He's like most of his big plays are on 4. And I'm going to take a Panharmonicon and shift the turn. Get his hand up here. I thought I F6'd already. Second Glimmer is pretty good. Definitely gonna shatter this. I can't reliably just never let him resolve anything. Confirm's pretty good. He's pretty likely to slam Cloud Blazer this turn if he drew a land last couple, and confirming is pretty nice. If he's just gonna pass the turn, I'm gonna Glimmer for sure. I don't know what he's worried about here. Oh, he's doing a Spell Queller. Whatever. It's not that good. Rejection, fine draw. I'm not really too worried about dying here. Mostly just worried about possible ways to win. Reject that. And Glimmer. Put both of these on bottom. And draw 2 more lands. 3 more lands. Alright. Pass the turn. So we know his whole hand. It'd be pretty tough for him to not cast 5-drop here. I'm going to counter whichever one it is. Just because I need to draw the cards. And another land is just bad. Alright. That's a good draw. Now we actually got like kind of a plan here. If he goes for Cloud Blazer, we got a good shot of winning. If he doesn't, I might have to just break the clue, both the clues. Because I really can't afford to get my guy stasis snared at this point. And we get to confirm this. There's a lot of clicks involved here, which is going to make it tough. We only got 2 minutes. I mean, if we just actually start drawing anything here, like, we are in pretty good shape. Rattle off a counterspell or two here. We got a decent chance of just winning. Definitely need to find a first counterspell though. All right. Well, that was basically as bad a draw as you could imagine. The Harness Lightning is effectively a card draw spell because I get to hit the Queller. Reflector Mage I'm cool with. I can still kind of race this. So he's got one card in hand and a Stasis Snare. We're going to kill that. And we're going to get to Glimmer. And looking for just Gear Hulks still and counter spells. That is a great 2 cards. I am in a sack of Clue and then basically just be in full on speed mode. I'm not even going to worry too much about the preciseness of my play at this point. Let's ship the turn. I got to hit him 3 times still. And I got a minute and 30 to do so. He just definitely can't attack. Does he not know how this works? Alright, well, I'm going to cast Gear Hulk. And Glimmer. And then I'm going to negate this. He drew something else. A Spell Queller. Oh, that's fine though. I actually can beat that. So he quells the negate, and then I Harness Lightning, the Queller, and this is just a gigantic blowout. He loses everything. I do still have to hit him 3 times, but there's no way he's actually ever pushing through this in any kind of real way. The only way we possibly lose this is on time. Come on. I'm missing. Top that, don't care. Block. I'm just F6'd. And that's a good draw. F6 again. 30 seconds. Alright. So now we just get to cast Gear Hulk. Alright, he just picked him up. So that was tough. We did pull it out in the 4 minutes. Definitely factors in that I'm kind of trying to walk through my plays for the video. I normally am a pretty fast player. I'm rarely behind on time. But that was that's something that I'm gonna have to work on if I'm gonna keep doing videos, because I can't afford to be 10 minutes behind on time or whatever. So yeah, I'll have to think about that in the future and make sure that I'm not just gabbing away and watching seconds tick off of my clock. Also, it's just kind of rude to to your opponents and stuff. I think it's pretty lame to have them, have wasted 10 minutes of their life while you're just talking. So, but we did get a win. We're up to 3-1, so we'll have one more match, and See if we can get a good solid 4-1 or a pretty medium 3-2. Well, we'll see you back here for match 4.